Hello and welcome to The Good, The Bad and The Ugly, the video series from GLG where we give our thoughts on a video game, movie or TV show that we have recently indulged in and break down what we thought was good, bad and ugly, or lovely in those rare occasions where the property is just too bloody good. But before we get into it, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button for more fantastic videos from Girlish Gaming. After 2 years of waiting, the 8th chapter in the core Star Wars saga is finally here with the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi. With the incredible success of The Force Awakens and a strong performance from Rogue One, Disney will be hoping that they can make it free for free with a movie that is as much about paying homage to the past as it is about looking to the future. The good. The Last Jedi picks up where The Force Awakens ended and wastes no time in reuniting us with the characters introduced in the last chapter in the series. But while the familiar faces of Poe Dameron and Finn can be seen, it is Rey, Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker on which the central story is focused. Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, is still an incredibly likeable protagonist and acts as a mirror against Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver, who performs expertly as a conflicted personality who in his mind is doing the wrong things for the right reasons. Take note, Hayden Christensen.
I don't like sand.
Yeah, we know. But the standout performance of the movie comes from Mark Hamill, who might not be the same Luke you remember from your childhood, but embarked on an incredible character arc that was not what was expected. The battle set pieces in The Last Jedi are up there with some of the best in the franchise, but not necessarily for the reasons you may think. Where the iconic sequences of the past films were memorable for the sheer scale and unique spaceships, The Last Jedi's battles do a far better job of demonstrating sacrifice and loss and make the audience feel like they are witnessing a real war. Taking influence from Rogue One, the battle set pieces do an amazing job of displaying the horrors of war and the desperate and heroic acts needed by the people involved. The Last Jedi is also a film that tries to toy with your expectations. People waiting for The Last Jedi to be released have no doubt been playing the guessing game of what happens next after Rey hands Anakin's lightsaber to Luke. All I can say without spoilers is that although some of it isn't exactly shocking, there are quite a few twists and turns that you definitely won't see coming. The Last Jedi is also the funniest movie in the franchise by far, with some well thought out gags unlike the poorly executed childish humour found in the prequel trilogies. But unfortunately the gags don't always land, and sometimes a joke can feel a little bit out of place when it immediately follows a very serious scene. The bad. Unfortunately, The Last Jedi is not a perfect movie. While the central plot involving Rey, Luke and Kylo is the driving force of the film, there are numerous pointless subplots that feel like they only exist in order to give some of the other characters something to do. And with a whopping 2.5 hour runtime, Rian Johnson really could have relegated these scenes to the cutting room floor without it being detrimental to the film's narrative. Unfortunately, included in these subplots are the new characters played by Laura Dern and Benicio del Toro, who are massively underutilised and play totally forgettable characters. One of the major complaints about The Force Awakens was the fact that it pretty much followed A New Hope's narrative beat for beat. While The Last Jedi is not completely guilty of this, it does contain a lot of moments that not only mirror The Empire Strikes Back, but also Return of the Jedi as well, with one scene almost being a carbon copy. The movie is also extremely message heavy, which can be a bit ham-fisted at times. Hope is once again the central theme, but the film also makes comments about capitalism and also delivers the message that a person from unextraordinary beginnings can still become an extraordinary person. While the messages themselves are obviously not a bad thing, it's so driven home by the end of the film, it feels like you're being hammered over the head by Yoda's walking stick.
R2!
The lovely. Despite the heartbreaking death of Carrie Fisher last year, Leia plays a pivotal role as the leader of the Resistance, whom everyone looks to for guidance. Despite being out of the acting game for a long time, except for her small part in The Force Awakens, Fisher gives the fans one last gift with a perfect last performance as the character, one which will choke up even the hardest of Star Wars fans. While I can't agree with the people who have called this the best Star Wars movie since 1980, the film is definitely a bold attempt at delivering a Star Wars experience that links to the films that came before, while demonstrating that it's time for the story to take a new direction and embrace the new characters who will carry the franchise forward. We rate this movie 4 Gert Lushes out of 5.